What do you think of some of the current problems, though, that may be beleaguering your party? Rosie Duffield has said that the Labour Party actually has a woman problem, and certainly the barracking that she received recently from your own benches when she stood up to discuss same-sex spaces. I mean, it was hard to even hear her point of view. Would you agree with her comments?
Can I put it like this? I'm a woman of a certain age, and I think in the Labour Party, as in most things, you've got to be tolerant. And we have got to, we're in a democratic country. We may agree or not agree, but we have to be able to discuss these things. So, as a party, as individuals, as women, as men, that we can work through them. So for me, I'm new to this the parliamentary type bubble, but I believe there is um, there is space to hear other people's points of view, and we've got to ensure that we are tolerant and we debate things in a fair way.
Do you think Rosie Duffield got a fair hearing?
Well, as I didn't actually hear that debate, I really don't want to say she had a fair or not hearing. If people were shouting her down at the time and they weren't prepared to listen to her, I can honestly say to you they were probably wrong because she did have a point of view, and it may not be a point of view that they held, but we have to listen and be tolerant of each other.
Paulette, you said you were a woman of a certain age. I mean, you're about the same age as me, so that certain age is about 58. So we don't need to be we don't need to be coy about it. But I'm just interested in whether you believe that the leadership of the Labour Party maybe is a little bit too interested in courting the young and fashionable, and rather less interested in the views of women of our age when it comes to single-sex spaces, for example.
I actually think that the party is listening to all views at the moment. I think we're not in power at the moment. I think as a party, we we have got people with other views. We've got people with views that we may support, and I think at the moment, Keir is leading a party where he is listening to all sides of the argument. So I would disagree when you say that the party's just courting the very young, because if you look at the last few by-elections, it has actually been slightly older women that have come in. I would always say, and I would always stand on the side that we need more women. Now, nothing beats having women, younger women have something to give, middle-aged women,
Oh
older
yeah, no,
women.
all of that is true, but I don't think Sir Keir Starmer has leapt to Rosie Duffield's defence in any sort of public way, has he?
I want to leave that there because I'm not sure. Because I'll have to be honest with you, the argument in the House, people know where Rosie stands on all of this, and I think the Labour Party has had a general view that we need to be tolerant and listen to what others are saying. So I really don't want to draw it to Sakia to say because he didn't leap to a defence. I think that would be a bit unfair.
Can we ask you about today's story, though, about Isla Bryson, which is frightening to many? Convicted as a man, Adam Graham, of 2 rapes. Since those crimes, he has begun a transitioning process and is now being held in a segregation unit at a woman's prison. How would you want that case to be dealt with?
Right, now that is a very interesting scenario. For me, this this gentleman transitioning to a female, we have to, we're a democratic country, we have to treat him fairly. Transitioning to a woman, we have to respect the fact that he is transitioning to a woman. And for myself, as an MP in a constituency where I have a number of people that have contacted me that are transitioning, I think all they want us to be is just fair towards them. So that's what I would say to you, that we need just to be fair and he has a fair hearing, and we
Well, he's had
Yes.
he's,
according.
the person's had a fair hearing and been found guilty of 2 rapes.
So what are you trying to get me to say? I'm going to be honest with you, because I'm not going to tell you we're going to kill him because he wants to be transitioned.
No,
I mean,
we're not
no one's-
asking
no
you for
one's
that at all,
suggesting that.
Paulette. No, I think what a lot of people listening to this will be struggling with is who is the more vulnerable out of those 2 people or 3 people. So you have 2 victims of incredibly serious sexual assault, and you have 1 perpetrator with a conviction. And I think a lot of people do feel uncomfortable knowing who is the more vulnerable, whose rights need to be respected the most. We're at the frontier of understanding all of this, and it is helpful to hear people who've been elected to power talk about it. That's the only reason why we're asking.
Yeah, and I have to say, I would be more concerned about the women in this circumstance. If you're asking me outright, I would be more concerned at the fact that he's transitioning to a woman. I would be concerned for the women. But saying all of that, transitioning, he will get the support he needs to ensure that he transitions safely.